I'm zooming. What's that?
In 2009, a shaky clip surfaced from the Tatra Mountains, near the border between Poland and Slovakia.
Nie, popatrzę na ciebie.
Jezus, ale przestań mnie kręcić, tu to... Stadek coś jest w krzakach. Chryste, Jezus, co to jest?
The brief recording, although blurry and unstable, spread quickly across the internet. It seemed to show something strange moving far away, a dark, upright shape that many viewers suspected could be Bigfoot. At first look, the video appears unusually shaky, much more than expected from a normal handheld camera. Although older cameras from that period did not have today's stabilization, the movement feels strangely forced, almost as if whoever filmed it was shaking the camera intentionally. Despite the low quality, the footage triggered heavy debate. Some viewers dismissed it as a clear hoax, while others believed its rough, imperfect look made it feel more authentic. Even today, it remains a strange part of internet history. What starts as a quiet solo walk through a Slovakian forest soon becomes something frightening. In daylight, a lone hiker moves deep into the woods, surrounded by the still calm of nature. That silence is broken when they come across a strange formation built from bent tree branches, almost like a shelter, but not something that appears made by people. The place feels strangely empty. With no sound and no movement anywhere, pulled forward by curiosity, the explorer keeps going into the thick trees, watching the shadows between the trunks. Then, behind the branches, a huge dark figure appears, tall, still, and staring. Many have called it the Slovakian Yeti. For one moment, they lock eyes before a terrifying roar breaks the quiet. Panicked, the explorer turns and runs, the sound following them through the forest and into the daylight. A group of hikers were taking a peaceful walk through the forest when they came across something deeply unsettling. Piles of bones spread across the ground, resembling a rough graveyard. Among the remains were skulls, jawbones, and pieces of spine, some belonging to deer, others to cats and dogs, placed in odd patterns that looked too deliberate to be natural. Some thought wild animals may have carried their prey to this spot, but others believed the scene suggested something much more planned, possibly even connected to Bigfoot legends. The disturbing find frightened the group. Without saying much, they turned around and left the woods immediately, unable to shake one silent, unsettling question. What if they were next? Could this be evidence of Bigfoot in South America? What started as a fun afternoon soon became something different. A group of children were playing near the edge of a field, laughing and filming each other close to the trees. Everything looked normal until the camera captured sudden movement far away. A dark shape appeared, racing toward them quickly as it came out from the shadows. Panic broke out as the kids screamed and ran, dropping their toys and spreading across the field. Later, they reviewed the footage in shock. Some believe it may be the Pomeroy, South America's version of Bigfoot. Others think it was something even stranger. While walking deep through the forest at night, a man recorded something genuinely disturbing.
What is that? Looks like eye shine. Whistle? Fuck. Whistling was a bad idea.
In the dark, two glowing eyes appeared, reflecting the light like the stare of a predator. A soft whistle echoed a choice he likely came to regret. Then, a large, shadowy figure stepped into view. With a size and form hard to identify, some viewers claimed it was Bigfoot, while others thought it may have been a bear. Skeptics argued the scene was staged, but the silence and remote setting made the footage deeply unsettling. Even now, the creature's real identity remains unknown. On a chilly fall morning, a father and his son went into the woods for a day of exploring, hoping to enjoy the fresh air and quiet calm of nature. But before long, something drew their attention, an unusual figure moving among the trees. Curious, they chose to get a better look. As the camera rolled, they zoomed in on the strange shape, its outline barely showing through the branches. Seconds later, the figure stepped out large, quick, and strangely smooth in the way it moved. Then, all at once, it burst from the tree line, running off with incredible speed. In a distant Tibetan village close to the Chinese border, residents reportedly found a huge humanoid shape lying still on the ground. It had a human-like face, tangled hair, a body resembling a gorilla, and unusually oversized feet. The footage soon spread online, creating debate and curiosity around the world. Some viewers called it clear evidence of a Yeti or Bigfoot, while others said it looked staged, more like a film prop than an actual creature. With no further proof or verification, many people remained doubtful. Late at night, deep beside a quiet Kentucky creek, something enormous was recorded on camera. Near the edge of Kentucky Ridge Forest, a man noticed a tall figure standing in the shallow water by an old mine behind his property. The creature remained still, its eyes faintly reflecting in the darkness, eerie, yet impossible to miss. Even in the dim light, he was able to take out his phone and zoom in, capturing the dark outline before it disappeared back into the night. In the weeks after, a friend reported strange activity in the same place, unexplained sounds, snapped branches, and disturbed soil near the creek. When the footage was later enhanced, it showed a rounded head and a huge body that towered over the nearby trees. It did not move like any familiar animal, remaining still in the water as if searching for food before sensing it had been seen. The figure merged almost perfectly with the forest behind it, leaving many to ask, was this really Bigfoot? On May 18th, in Monroe County, Michigan, Edward Henry and his 12-year-old son were fishing near Plum Creek when their peaceful afternoon suddenly changed. Out of nowhere, they heard loud rustling from the nearby trees, followed by a deep, heavy thump that shattered the quiet. When they looked toward the noise, they saw something remarkable. A huge figure, almost 8 feet tall, with a broad, hairy back and a massive build. For a short moment, it remained clearly visible then. Once it seemed to know it had been spotted, the creature turned and quickly vanished into the woods, leaving behind only the fading sound of branches breaking behind it. A quiet walk through the woods in New Brunswick suddenly changed near the riverbank. In July 2023, just outside Bathurst, a person moving quietly through the thick forest noticed slight movement between the trees. By instinct, they crouched behind heavy brush and started recording, feeling that whatever they had spotted was not an ordinary woodland animal. Through the camera, a tall, dark shape could be seen standing completely still beside the moving river. Its shadowy form blended almost perfectly into the tree line, as though it was trying to stay hidden. After the footage was zoomed in and slowed down, the figure became easier to see, large, upright, and disturbingly still. The question remains, was this Bigfoot, quietly watching from the edge of the forest the entire time? On August 28th, a man named Jeff recorded something unusual while driving beside a forest covered in fog.
Whoa.
Through the haze, he spotted a huge figure moving among the trees, seemingly 8 feet tall, covered with thick brown hair, and shaped with a large, powerful build. The sighting lasted just a few seconds. but it was enough to make a lasting impact. The figure's body shape and movement looked too natural, too smooth, to seem like an ordinary prank. Many people who later studied the footage argued that no suit could recreate such lifelike texture and detail, leaving the disturbing question of what Jeff had actually captured that day. A man recorded footage of a faraway mountain peak, but when he zoomed closer, something disturbing appeared near the summit.
Kind of creepy. It's like a person's silhouette up in them clouds. I'm sorry. If it was your mountain, I'm sorry I broke it.
Like a person's silhouette up in the clouds.
A tall, dark outline stood still against the clouds, shaped like a human but clearly larger and wider. Some viewers compared it to the legendary Bigfoot, wondering who or what would stand exposed to the cold wind at that elevation. Without the exact location, it cannot be confirmed. So what do you think was actually standing there? In 2007, a trail camera in northwestern Pennsylvania recorded 3 unusual images. The first showed bear cubs, but minutes afterward, 2 additional photos revealed a crouching, ape-like shape sniffing the ground. Experts reviewed its limb proportions and posture, saying it looked more primate than bear. Officials dismissed it as a bear with mange, but many disagreed, known as Jacob's photos. The images triggered one of wildlife research's largest debates, and the strange creature remains unexplained. In 2021, an unusual video emerged from British Columbia, showing a huge dark figure moving smoothly through the forest. The filmer, Harley Hoffman, recorded what looked like visible muscle movement and natural motion that many believed seemed too realistic to be a suit. 5 years later, the footage appeared on YouTube, posted by his brother Hutch Hoffman soon after. Both vanished from public attention, leaving one of the most mysterious Bigfoot clips ever captured. One morning, a tall shape emerged from the woods and stopped between 2 wooden posts, standing perfectly still.
Oh my god, look at it. It's just standing there. Bigfoot. Oh my god.
When viewers measured its height against the posts and nearby trees, it seemed much taller than a normal person. Nobody could confirm what it was, but its eerie stillness drew serious attention. So what do you think that figure truly was? In 2012, students near Pocutello were filming a school project when their camera recorded a tall, dark shape moving between the trees. It had wide shoulders and slowly walked deeper into the woods, unlike any ordinary hiker. The clip spread fast after Jeff Meldrum from Idaho State University said its proportions matched Bigfoot reports, and it later appeared on Finding Bigfoot. No one proved it was fake or took responsibility. So what do you think those students actually captured? On October 13th, 2025, tourists filming during an Amazon rainforest jungle tour captured a startling moment.
Wait, hold on.
I'm zooming. It's huge.
Keep the camera on it. Oh, it's moving. It's going deeper.
As the camera zoomed closer, a huge figure came into view, moving farther into the jungle with motions that seemed too human to be an ape before disappearing among the trees. After the clip was posted online, some called it fake, while others believed it could show evidence of an unknown species. For centuries, Amazon tribes have told stories of the Mapinguari, a large red-haired being said to wander the deep forest, with hunters describing strange footprints and eerie howls. So could this footage be connected to that legend? In a quiet woodland, a group of hikers found a huge rock sitting on top of a snapped tree, as though it had been hurled with incredible force. There were no roads or cliffs nearby to explain how it ended up there, and the trunk was split cleanly, suggesting something heavy had dropped from above. Locals think it may have been Bigfoot, often described as throwing rocks and breaking trees to mark territory. Still, no clear answer exists, so what do you think caused it? The Sasquatch Outpost channel posted a video reportedly recorded with night vision in Lost Creek Wilderness on February 16, 2019, around 1:30 a.m. It starts with a quiet forest, until a dark head with 2 shining eyes emerges from behind a tree, staring directly at the camera. The following morning, the filmer Jim returned and found only a fallen log where the face had appeared, nothing able to reflect infrared light. So what was watching from the darkness? A man checking footage from his trail camera deep in the woods noticed an odd figure he could not identify right away. It looked wide and heavy, sitting low with its head lowered, and did not clearly match any known animal or person in the area. Some thought the tall build and thick outline resembled Bigfoot, while others suggested it might be someone in bulky winter clothing. Even so, the unfamiliar shape remains hard to explain. Jenny and Kelly discovered large tracks near a swamp during a trip close to Marsh Peak, each shaped like an enormous human foot. On a later visit, Duke and Kelly found similar prints again. They never said it was Bigfoot, but the size and shape were difficult to ignore. While reviewing their footage, they noticed a faint figure peeking in one still image, seemingly visible in the video too. So with all these clues together, was it real? While checking footage from his trail camera, a man noticed something strange. At first, the clip shows a black bear, nothing unusual. Then a much larger animal appears beside it, making the bear seem unexpectedly small. The creature has thick, drooping fur and a heavy, rounded body, almost like a yak, sometimes described as hairy cattle or a grunting ox. But the behavior does not quite make sense. Bears do not usually follow animals that way, raising the possibility of a misidentified species, a strange camera angle, or something else completely. So what do you think the larger creature actually was? Deep in Iowa's wilderness, two hunters sitting high in a tree stand saw movement below.
Oh shit, this is not good. Not good. What the f?
A huge, black-haired figure moved through the brush with long arms, a heavy body, and an almost human-like stride, while low growls carried through the trees. Some viewers call it a hoax, while others believe it was real, especially since Iowa has recorded more than 70 similar encounters going back to the 1970s. So was this another mistaken sighting, or part of a much bigger pattern? A clip from Russia claims to capture a real sighting of the legendary Yeti stepping out from behind a tree. A massive figure appears, huge and covered in white fur, nearly disappearing into the snowy landscape. It does not move like a bear, and it does not look like one either. Still, the very poor video quality creates doubt. Is this real evidence, a mistaken animal, or just a visual illusion caused by distance and blur? A family visiting the Meek Cabin Mountains found unusual tracks that first appeared human, but were much larger than normal. The man who discovered them said his family had seen similar prints in the area before, and his sister even claimed she once saw Bigfoot herself, an experience so disturbing she refuses to talk about it. With the region widely known as a Bigfoot hotspot, it leaves one lasting question. Could there really be some truth behind these repeated encounters? In the Cyan Mountains, a hiker named Jeannie Lomakin recorded a strange figure moving beside a river. The shape looked tall and hunched, completely covered in hair, and moved in a way that did not resemble normal human behavior. Around the same period, hunters near Salakard discovered huge footprints deep in the snow, much larger than a man's, which suddenly turned away and disappeared into the forest. Many believe both events point to the Almasty, Russia's version of Bigfoot. But could there be another explanation? A home security camera in Texas recorded a tall figure moving behind a backyard fence in East Texas. Online, some viewers thought it showed a Bigfoot-like presence, while others said it was simply a person whose shadow had been stretched by the lighting. No firm proof has appeared, but the homeowner insisted it did not look like any neighbor. So was it only a trick of light, or Bigfoot passing through? A hiker in the Walawa Mountains, about 2 miles outside Joseph, near the top of the Walawa Lake Tramway, paused to enjoy the view when he noticed movement among the trees. At first, he thought it was another hiker, but then he saw a tall, dark, hairy figure standing partly concealed behind a tree, watching him, frozen in fear. He took a photo and ran back down the trail. Many believe the image may be proof of Bigfoot, a creature long rumored to wander Oregon's wilderness. So what do you think he actually saw? This video was posted on YouTube by Lego Clone Boy 321 on August 31st, 2011, and was recorded near Provo, Utah. The footage shows a large shape partly hidden by vegetation in a wooded area. According to the uploader, the group was not out for a casual hike. They were doing field activity and looking for Bigfoot when they noticed the figure. Bigfoot is often described as between 7 and 9 feet tall, and the shape in the video appears to fit that range. No follow-up updates were ever shared. Some say sightings like this are sometimes reported during remote hikes or camping. But what do you think the figure really was? On October 30th, just before midnight, John Brown and his brother Ben captured unusual thermal footage on their rural property in Grays Harbor County. What they recorded was something they could not explain. The thermal image seemed to show the head, shoulders, and upper chest of a figure. According to the brothers, the shape was standing on a steep hillside about 3 to 4 feet below their position. Their property is isolated, surrounded by thick forest, with the nearest neighbor roughly half a mile away. After reviewing the footage, size and shape analysis ruled out deer and cattle. Bears were also considered unlikely because none are known to live in that area. Later, the brothers discovered large footprints nearby and compared their size with a human footprint. Using a reference pole, they estimated the figure to be about 4 feet wide and around 7 feet tall. Some viewers say strange sightings like this are sometimes reported during remote hikes or camping trips. But what do you think they truly recorded that night? In 2014, several children were playing in a snowy forest near a treehouse while one of them filmed a video. During the recording, a large dark shape briefly appeared among the trees, walking upright before vanishing. At first, the children believed it might have been a bear. Soon afterward, they recorded tracks in the snow.
Okay, I'm here with...
The impressions were long and deep, shaped somewhat like bear prints. Later, Bigfoot investigator Jack Barnes examined the footage using a nearby picnic table for scale and estimated the figure may have been around 8 feet tall. Some say sightings like this happen during hikes or camping trips. But what do you think it was? Reddit user Sasquatch Balls 45 shared a video that a friend sent from a hunting lease near Honobia, Oklahoma. In the clip, a dark shape can be seen moving upright through the trees before vanishing. The person recording never saw it again. In forests used for hunting or camping, distance and shadows can sometimes make shapes appear strange. But what do you think the video shows? This brief video was posted online by a hiker who says it may be the clearest Bigfoot footage yet. The clip shows a large, dark, hair-covered shape sitting on a fallen tree inside a dense forest. The figure seems calm and does not respond to the camera. Visible details include long arms, a wide chest, thick fur, and a face that appears partly human and partly primate. The video was reportedly recorded near the Little River in Alabama, a remote place where people sometimes go hiking or camping. But what do you think was sitting on that fallen tree? An Instagram page focused on Bigfoot content received a strange image from a viewer in Oakland National Forest. The photo was taken by a trail camera set up in the woods. It shows a large furry shape standing behind a fallen tree. The figure looks upright and bulky, almost ape-like. Although no wild apes live in Florida, the image quickly started debate. Some think it might be a person wearing a costume, while others are unsure. Some say sightings like this are sometimes reported during hikes or camping trips. But what do you think the camera captured? A man in British Columbia had recently purchased a new phone with an infrared camera. While trying it out, he started taking pictures around his yard. One image immediately caught his attention. In the photo, a strange shape appeared in the background. The figure looked somewhat human-like and seemed to be moving on all fours, but the poor image quality made it difficult to identify. The picture was later shared online by a friend, but no further details were provided. Some say moments like this are sometimes noticed near quiet homes or during nearby hikes and camping trips. But what do you think the camera captured that night? A man flew his drone over a quiet lake in northern Maine while looking for a fishing spot. Later that evening, as he reviewed the footage, he noticed something strange near the tree line. A tall, dark, fur-covered shape seemed to be walking upright on 2 legs. He later went back to the same location and filmed again, but the figure was gone. He posted the clip online, asking viewers what they believed it was. Some say it looks like someone wearing a Bigfoot suit. Others question why anyone would dress that way in such a remote place where people sometimes hike or camp. But what do you think it was? In the 1980s, Deep within the forests of Alberta, Canada, a lone camper saw something moving far away and started recording. The brief clip shows a large two-legged figure walking among the trees. The shape does not clearly look like a person and does not match any known animal from the area. Some believe it may have been Sasquatch, while others think it was simply someone wearing a costume. What do you think that figure truly was? A hunter set up a trail camera deep in the forest, hoping to record wildlife. One weekend, he came back to review the footage while getting ready for his next trip into the backcountry. As he watched the recording, he noticed something unusual. A large dark shape appeared, walking upright between the trees. Surprised, he posted the clip online, asking viewers to help identify it. Some believe it may have been Bigfoot, while others think it could have been a prank. The hunter said the area was extremely remote, usually used only for hiking or camping. But what do you think the camera captured that day? During a snowstorm in Arizona, a woman named Rose filmed from inside her car while driving near the White River above Roberts Ranch. The video captured loud, unfamiliar noises coming from outside the vehicle. The sounds continued as she traveled along a remote section of road. Even with wind and passing cars, the strange noises could still be heard clearly. The area has earlier reports of similar sounds and sightings. What do you think was causing those noises? A Department of Transportation worker spotted something strange in footage from a Dodd webcam in eastern Washington. The camera had been monitoring winter conditions at Sherman Pass, about 500 feet above sea level. In one frame, a dark figure appeared standing in the snow under a tree. The shape looked human-sized and entirely dark, not like a shadow or scattered debris. Some say sightings like this are sometimes reported in remote areas where people hike or camp. But what do you think that figure in the snow was?